Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Onward VR Master League. My name is NightFiree with two E's. I am here with my good witch doctor, voodoo charmsman, Buxton. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. It's nice to be back casting with you again. It's been another week. Feels like we don't do it too often, but we do.
Yeah, it's been with the introduction of more new faces to the casting roster, it's been a little bit challenging for us to get together, which is, I think, a good thing, because it means that we have more coverage out there, a lot more games being delivered to the general public to satiate their desire for Onward and in the competitive environment. But aside from all of that, today we do have a pretty good game lined up. SMC Tactical versus Danglers. What are your thoughts? No predictions, don't say that. Just thoughts.
No predictions, but my thoughts.
Yeah.
My thoughts are that SMC, I think they're going to be pretty hot out of the gate, considering they just got off, literally just now, 2 minutes ago, off scrimming Globochem for their warm-up.
Yeah, that is a definitely a next level warm-up. And while we're on SMC, we'll just dip in and take a look at their roster. It is Sickness, Brastamouth, Captain Soda, Edna Jordan, Landon Jordan, Mr. Beefy, and Pwnecake. Full squad there ready to rock. I'm sure we'll see some subs come in, depending on what maps we're on, and should be good out of them. What are your opinions on Danglers, though? I think Sleepy's going to be playing today. Should be interesting to see how he does. It's going to be fun. I don't know what to expect.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure either. I'm 99% sure Sleepy's playing, because he did talk about a warm-up about an hour ago. So I think he's going to be playing, and what to expect... I'm definitely with you there, as I said. I have no real clue what to expect out of Danglers. For some reason, they're an enigma to me. I just don't know what's coming out of them. It's really strange, considering how much I know about the other teams in the league.
Yeah, and just taking a look at their roster, it is Expediter, Llewellyn, Executioner, Riboman, Nintendo, Sleepy, and Stumpy Nub. It's a very strong roster. Like, they're a top-tier team. They've been around since Season 2. They're competitors at, what was it, the last Leicester tournament? I mean, they're a team to be reckoned with, and so I'm curious to see how they'll deal with SMC. I can't remember the last time they played them. It hasn't been this season, so this will be their first bout this season.
Last time they would have been played them would have been in Season 5, where they went up against them on July 31st. It was us two casting, actually, and they lost 6-12.
Well, I don't know. I'm not quite. I think we're still waiting on pick bands to come out from these squads, but we should be hopping into our lobby shortly. I mean, Danglers, they have been playing really well lately. They're on a 2-game win streak. Their last loss to Globochem 6-11, which isn't that bad. I mean, that's definitely, you're putting up a battle against them on each map. You're not really rolling over there. So a very strong. I mean, they're rolling well. SMC Tactical also, though, they're on a 4-game win streak. Man, we need to stop casting their games.
Yeah, every single one of their matches has been casted on
Ridiculous.
SMC Tactical side.
Maybe they're just they figured out the formula. They know when we like to cast.
It is actually at very reasonable times.
Yeah, they target our time slots. Either way, yeah, they have had quite a lot of coverage, and they have only lost their first round to Globochem 10-7 too, so just barely. See if they even won the first map on Quarantine. I remember that. That was kind of like the start to the season. That was them playing each other before they faced off in OC5.
Yeah, well, we got the insane amount of previews. We also had, what was it, Boss Fight versus Beginners on the Europe side, and Boss Fight versus SMC Tactical as a challenge shortly after that Globo match.
Quite a bit of action there. Are we, what's our status here? What are these guys doing?
Lobby is up, but we have yet to receive the information that we need.
I think I'm getting it right now from SMC Tactical's team captain, Sickness. I'll be firing up Onward so you'll hear the wonderful roar of downpour thunder. Little shout out to the devs. I don't think they do that very often around here.
No, they are severely undercredited in the Onward Master League casts.
Yeah, they really are. It's very true. James, we love you. I know you watch every once in a while at least. Preach. James, and I guess everybody else that works on
I guess everyone else as well.
Whatever.
That Indian guy, we don't need him.
We do have pick bands. They are in my hands. SMC Tactical has banned Tanker. And the Danglers have banned Suburbia.
That's some very stereotypical bans coming out of both teams there.
Yeah, nothing too out of the ordinary. Give my co-caster the information he needs, and we'll be hopping into this lobby shortly to hopefully deliver you guys a quality Onward Master League cast.
That you've come to expect from the Onward Master League.
Nothing but top tier.
All top of the line professional tier cast here, coming out of all four corners of the world. This first map, my friend, NightFiree, Cargo, to start off with. That's a pretty standard map to start off with. Nice, tight, close corners. Kind of fits both of these teams, SMC and Danglers, both.
Ooh, my right controller's almost run out of battery. You gotta join quick.
You gotta join before it runs out. You're racing a very, very quick clock.
It's literally has enough power for me to punch in the code and then it powers off.
It's perfect. It was waiting. It was just holding on, squeezing out every last bit of juice it could.
Either way, we're in. And yeah, sorry I missed your what you were saying there on Cargo Bucks. If you don't mind repeating yourself for me.
That's very much fine. But what do you think about this first map, Cargo? It fits both teams quite well. SMC and Danglers both nice close quarters.
Yeah.
Not too much messing about at medium to long range.
Really starting things off hot and heavy. You know, it should be some pretty interesting engagements that we're going to get here. Just kind of taking a look at the active rosters. Over on SMC, we're going to be running with Sickness, Pone Cake, Captain Soda, Landon, Jordan, and Beefy. And I think we're relating on that fifth member of the Dangler squad, actually Sleepy, to be popping in there. The Executioner, Rivalman, Expediter, Stumpy, and presumably Sleepy with 2 3s.
So you would expect, at least, otherwise. What's the point to him warming up? There you go. Don't worry.
Kind of taking a peek at the upcoming objective as well. It is going to be a rather capable one. Somewhat unguarded, somewhat unprotected, susceptible to certain angles of capture. A couple of good smokes can really deny some vision, but tough to attack as well.
Yeah, there's no real good place to actually cap around a corner. You've either got right on the kind of gas tank next to it, or maybe right out in the open. There's nowhere else.
And it is something to note that this was SMC Tactical's map pick. They also go on to Marsoc, so kind of curious, see what Danglers can come up with. Full squad, the full roster ready to rock.
Yeah, you were right. It is, in fact, Sleepy himself coming in as the 5th man.
Always good to celebrate a fellow co-caster playing in the competitive scene. Buxton just actually got done. You weren't playing in that Silent Purge match, were you?
We haven't played a match yet. Ours is tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Sinister Pride.
Sinister Pride, yeah.
You got the two mixed
I got
up.
the two mixed up. Oh, great.
Don't
Now
worry.
there's 2 SPs in the league. I didn't even think about that. I didn't even know I had them mixed up until you told me I had them mixed up.
ESL casters got us mixed up as well.
Oh,
Don't
my
worry.
gosh. Well,
But it seems we're just waiting on Sleepy now.
I mean, he knows better, you know? He's probably doing this intentionally to sort of torture us a little bit.
Yeah, he knows how to push our buttons very, very well.
Yeah. He knows exactly what he's doing. Anywho, he has finally readied up, and we will be hopping in to round 1 of the first map of the series. It's always good to hear Sickness not checking that we're in before starting game.
Yeah.
And some early smokes. Yeah, that's kind of surprising.
Yeah, they have whiffed both of them. They're totally ineffective to help them cross over here.
Oh, they wanted to throw those to help them cross the street. Yeah, they are ineffective. BP's watching pretty diligently with that LMG. He'll be dumping rounds there if they try and cross. He actually does find Sleepy. He gets a little aggressive and peeks out.
This Western stacked offense of SMC Tap, there's got to be scaring Danglers a little bit. They can sneak someone through the side and go for a cap here. It'll be risky, but considering how most of the defenders on the west, along with the offense, they can apply some serious pressure here.
Ooh, a nice trade there from Expeditor. A key pickup from Beefy. If he wasn't shot, he'd be flanking hard. Sickness sitting in these boxes. He has smoke to cover, but a couple of shots through them would penetrate and pick him up.
Looking at these trading nades, it's just like artillery, double smoke on Stumpy's position, and a team nade taking down Soda from Sickness. What is he planning here?
I don't know. He tried to throw that over the cargo bin, and it hit the edge, and he tried to call it to Soda. Rival Man rotates around, catches Sickness out. Tries to charge up, gets another. Can he get Soda? He trades a triple from Rivo. Really shutting down the SMC tactical push. Ponecake gonna have to make some magic happen.
That is exactly what Danglers needs right now, though unfortunately Rivo does get confirmed. They've already brought it down to a 3v1 from what was a 3v4 situation. So massive improvement all in all.
Yeah, Danglers coming out very good. Rival Man, I mean, that was a really nice play. Some really good quick shots from him. Pick up that triple executioner here. I think he's on the outside of the cargo hold. I don't think he's in. So yeah, he'll be waiting patiently for Ponecake.
Yeah, but we did see, I believe it was SMC Tactical Sickness to be exact. He threw a flash over the building that Executioner is in on the southwest side to manage to actually flash him from behind, then push him with a shield and just go straight in. I wonder if Ponecake has picked up a flash or maybe just has one lying around in his inventory to actually do the same tactic minus the shield.
Yeah, that's the way to come into this room. And I think he may have heard Executioner's crouch steps here. Next kind of tries to take that long angle. I think Ponecake's silent.
I believe so. Maybe an unfortunate breath will give away his position, but a little bit fast there. That was a bit sketchy, but so far, so good it seems.
Mex just radioed in, and Ponecake hears that on the comms, and he's looking. He charges hard! Some good shots. He picks up Mex. Now he has a few more ahead of him, Expediter and Stumpy.
Yeah, and he has plenty of time as well. If he actually wanted to, he could go all the way back, rotate around the west, and come in from the eastern side around the objective instead of doing this kind of maneuver, which would probably disrupt Dangler's mental processes a lot, but it would also be a little bit weird. You'd be giving up a good position in the far south.
Yeah, and I think if he makes this play, he's actually kind of threading the needle here. He still does have to cross that little lane that Expediter will ultimately be covering, but this is, I think, the route to take if he wants to try and find Stumpy.
Yeah, he's going to have a very hard time dealing with Stumpy, though. You can see he's backed up, watching over that southern side from the corner of the container there, just by the door. He is going to have a very hard time taking him down, except maybe if he comes in through that triple white and takes him down through the door. Otherwise, I don't believe he's actually going to make this clean.
Oh, he just went loud there. Stumpy should be hearing this. Oh, and I thought Stumpy was in that crater, but yeah, he's tucked himself into that corner there. He's not going to be expecting him there. This is going to be bad news for Ponecake.
Yeah, and he went loud just for a second as well.
A nice hold from Danglers. They managed to hang on and get that first point on the board.
a pretty smooth first round for Danglers, but they did have that initial bit of trouble without the glorious 3K of Ryberman. I don't think it'd been as smooth as that, but it did overall go pretty well, minus the 2 failed smokes at the start that stopped them from crossing over east and kind of just pushed them into a reactive defense.
Taking a look at the scores, Rybo there with his triple, really a key push for that squad to keep him in that round. I think if Rybo doesn't pick up those 3 on that side, it would have been a different story because they were going to be crashing in hard in that central area.
Yeah, especially if they actually crossed that guys over and managed to successfully do it. I think without the triple kill as well, having people on the east and not all of the team in the center to back them up, they would have pushed over that west side, and maybe it would have been even worse for them than not having the triple kill and being stuck in the west. That's just a spitball, though. Maybe being stuck in the west helped them, considering the offensive SMC tactical that round. Maybe.
We're sitting here waiting. SMC tactical, a trend that I've noticed is they tend to take their time between rounds.
I'd like to say, in fact, that they are innocent, and it's Sleepy of Danglers.
Oh, you think so? You think he's the culprit?
I saw, actually, in the tent, Sleepy was not ready.
What? This guy, you know, of all the people.
We can complain at him in the casting channel.
No. Last call for mags.
They don't have any smokes to cross over here. Sickness might lose his life when he comes across the southeast side.
Oh, the enemy is going to smoke it for them, and the shots come out and actually a trade. Landon with the pickup. Stumpy using his shield to push up into the smoke. Ponecake getting up pretty forward. And Executioner as well. Ponecake gets the shield down. Sleepy finds the shot. Soda with the immediate pickup afterwards.
Lex trying to push up the western green container here. I don't believe Captain Soda is actually aware of his location, so I think he will be able to pick him up. Maybe try for a landing.
Next, here's the footsteps. The shots are out from Nex. They don't land. Soda peeking. That peeker's advantage, and Danglers go down very fast. SMC Tactical taking the round quickly.
Yeah, very nice aggressive push up the east with the shield there after he took it off the corpse on the floor. Taking that shield and going with a flank on Volk is not really something the opposing team usually expects.
I just got to adjust my Onward volume because, boy howdy, those pinging off of the metallic surfaces is super loud.
It is quite loud. Maybe they'll have to like tone it down on the dev side of things because it's quite unusually loud compared to every other sound in the game, including grenades.
I mean,
especially if you're the shield holder.
I guess a bullet hitting a metal surface would be really loud, but I don't know. It's hard. I feel like sometimes it's a little hard on the cat. Like even if it was a spectating thing, maybe just to take that sound down, that'd be great. Just like the thunder.
And also the waves on Tanker. Almost said Subway.
Got all sorts of complaints, don't we?
Yeah, we have a whole list of them. We send it to the devs every month, and it's all just menial stuff. But at least this time, NightFiree, you can blame Sickness for holding up the game.
That's comforting. He's got to
But
point
they're
out
both
this
casters.
defense. I know I think we can chalk it up to them antagonizing us at this point.
We definitely can. That's the tagline for any team that holds us up and are also casters. They're just antagonizing us.
Bunch of jerks.
I actually just heard as I was flying over SMC Tactical there, he just asked a teammate to remind him to ready up. So it seems he may be forgetting.
Interesting.
Or maybe it's just a four-dimensional chess and he's actually just faking us out with that.
That's a little bit more bearable. These shots coming out here. Down this main lane. Nothing landing. Rivalman pushed up pretty open and aggressively. If this PP peeks out, he'll have one easily. Finds two, actually, lined up. SMC Tactical in a 4v2 right now.
Yeah, Danglers did manage to get a nade onto Pwnecake as well. Makes you know if he peeked that, might have been able to grab 3, but the moment has long since passed.
I think Soda just saw him peek there. He's got his gun drawn. Max waiting for that rotation out of him, but Soda pre-firing and gets the pick.
Such an unfortunate big. If he'd followed through with that, maybe gone a little bit earlier, that could have been a 3K and massively changed the tide yet again.
The res did come out on the back end, so it is a 2v5. But all sorts of utility getting tossed out. Flashes, smoke, sickness charging up here on Expediter. Expediter finding the picks, but he gets overexposed, and now it's all up to Sleepy. Sickness is on objective right now, capping. Sleepy doesn't see this behind the boxes, and Landon takes the shots. I think
very unfortunate.
Yeah, I think Sickness maybe would have wanted the cap there. But SMC Tactical very handily taking that round.
Yeah, that was very, very one-sided from them, though they did have a little bit of struggle with initially breaking through the center warehouses. Once they got on that eastern side and the double kill, it was just clean runnings straight through the center and the eastern side of the map, and it was just a disaster for Danglers.
They just had to have that one little shot of greatness from Mex there. It would have changed the tide, like you said, but timing is everything, and sometimes you just can't be sure when to peek and when you're going to get shot from a certain angle, and they don't have the sight like we do, you know. It's always a lot harder to see than for us to see.
Some people though seem to be like gifted in it because they just know when to peek it. Like it's pants. Like say he'll turn his head just at the right time for someone like come up around the corner or something like that. Or they peek like 5 million miles away, and he can tell, and it's amazing.
A little extra bit of game knowledge that definitely does come into effect there, and it allows you to kind of get that upper edge in situations, and it seems a bit uncanny.
It definitely does, but maybe one day I hope to learn it as well, because it's certainly something that I imagine it feels very satisfying to do, to catch someone coming around the corner. Because you can learn the timings. Like they go around the corner, you know that in about 20 seconds they'll come around the next corner, and you just can pre-fire it, and it's perfect.
Okay, watch out for their
Executioner are going to try and toss a smoke here for their push. See if he gets it out soon enough. No, I don't think it's quite where he wanted it.
Looks like it might be doing more harm than good inside that tunnel.
SMC Tactical getting very aggressive. A really nice nade from Pwnecake finds 2 in the center. Should be easily res. Stumpy and Sleepy exiting out of this long tunnel, and they might be able to find Sickness. Another follow-up frag catches 3. Now it's just the 2 at the tunnel.
What an unbelievable double nade on that center push. What a disaster for Danglers yet again. SMC Tactical are totally on the ball.
Really good job. Soda now rotating around, putting some shots out towards Stumpy. Sleepy getting picked up by Pwnecake, and the shield bearer. Too many bullets converging onto his metal shield, and he gets picked off.
I imagine SMC Tactical are going to be very happy once they learn of that triple nade in the center, because they have no way of knowing right now unless they had heard the screams from the tunnel exit.
Well, no, you could hear the surprise coming out of Sickness there. The whole squad's down. That's interesting. He wasn't really expecting that after only picking off 2.
Oh, I did hear that. That is definitely a very nice play then.
Can't be sure who. I think that was Captain Soda sending off that confirmation nade that grabbed him 3 over there, plus the knockdown. So, but I mean, Pwnecake, that was a long-range toss from Pwnecake, center of the map to get over there to that middle of the, I mean, a really on-point nade too. Airbursted right in the center of those cargoes holds. I mean, that's a practice spot for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, and I imagine that's something you kind of need to practice if you want to get particularly good on cargo, because as you can see, it's certainly working out 3-1 so far against Danglers, which are definitely not a team to be trifled with.
Yeah, I mean, This is definitely interesting to watch. I think Danglers have to stop the bleeding now. They got to stop this momentum that SMC Tactical are using right now, because they are really rolling. And if they keep going, it's going to be hard to stop this momentum going into their next map pick.
Yeah. There is one thing that you could hear, we could see rather on our end, the nade coming over, and I felt my heart just drop for Danglers. I can only imagine it was that much worse for them when they heard the nade thump next to them, roll up to the container, and suddenly explode and kill 3 of them.
Dude, SMC Tactical can muster up here. This final round, it looks like an early pick is what they're going to get. Riboman is resable, but they got eyes on. He's going to be a hard individual to pick up.
Yeah, Sickness is actually going to... I thought it was going for a nade onto a Riboman for the confirmation, but apparently not.
I think Max could cross and pick this up. He does get over there. The res does come up. 2 here. They're shooting down the tunnel. Trades are going off across the map. Beefy's close to objective. Plenty of smokes on. The tunnel crew is down. Actually, they've rotated out. Ribo and Expeditor crashing back towards objective. They're nervous about the potential cap. And Danglers may be salvaging this round yet. A good res and a couple picks. Another trade in the center. Now it's a 3v2. Landing comes around, finds one. A lot of fast action here. 4:55 left.
Yeah, this is incredibly quick. That first loss for Danglers, though resable, was definitely not too big of an issue for them, considering they've now brought it to a 2-2 after such chaos during the first minute of it.
Beefy IDs him. Landon comes out, gets the shots. Now it's a 1v2, all up to Sleepy.
Sleepy has an incredible uphill battle here. He might be able to see Beefy through that kind of fence there.
Oh, I think Beefy saw him, and Landon, with the shots, picks up their first map 4-1 against Danglers.
You can tell how happy Landon Jordan is there, screaming at the top of his lungs, just whooping. And what's the other word for it? Youping and something else. I can't remember it.
I don't know, Buxton. You and your sayings. Let me just update that map for you, and that's cargo for SMC Tactical. A bit, I don't know, unexpected, because that was a really dominant performance by them.
Yeah, that was incredibly dominant from SMC Tactical. I'm not entirely sure if we can continue to expect that coming out from them, but I think we may see a comeback from Danglers this map. Not my prediction, just my feeling.
Gotta be careful with those, dude. But yeah, this is Dangler's map pick, right? They're going to be going into the Marsoc position to start the round, and I mean, this is interesting for them to be picking Bazaar against SMC Tactical. I feel like SMC Tactical are a strong team on close quarters maps, but maybe the Danglers just feeling that much better on it. This is their map, you know. They are very strong on Bazaar.
I'm not entirely sure how strong, because I don't think I've seen them play Bazaar too many times. Definitely not with this roster at the very least. Sleepy, I don't think regularly has played for Danglers, or at least not in the matches that I have casted or seen myself. I do know that Danglers is a good team overall, and though my knowledge on how they are on Bazaar may not be very good, my knowledge in how they play together is decent. Passable, you might say.
Well, considering how much we've casted them, I can't fault you for that. Your knowledge of SMC should be unrivaled, though.
Yes, don't worry. My knowledge of SMC Tactical is beyond reproach.
If you are just tuning in, you only missed the first map. Currently waiting for these slowpokes to get ready on this second one. We'll be hopping into Bazaar. Dangler's map pick. They'll be going on to Marsoc. SMC Tactical taking up Volk. Should be an exciting bout to the death.
No, NightFiree, that was an incredibly quick first map. That was only about 27 minutes for cargo.
You know, I feel like that has happened before with SMC Tactical on Cargo?
Possibly. It does definitely lend to their style of play that they would end matches and maps very, very quickly.
But yeah, man, you're right. That was an insanely quick league match. We were just rolling. Considering the time between maps, I mean, I don't think a round went past 4 minutes.
I think the limit we hit was about 3 minutes 30. I don't think anything went any later than that, which is very nice to see at the very least.
Yeah, I mean, that is some fast-paced action right there if I've ever seen it. Don't necessarily get that, I guess, when the pressure's on the stage, but maybe that's the difference.
And Sleepy's going for the Tormentation again. Last man not really up yet for Danglers.
I'm gonna have to slap him on the wrist or something, man.
He's getting a 2-month suspension from casting.
Because he's waited
Some may
too
call
long.
it harsh. Yeah, some may call it harsh, but we call it justice.
Very strict.
You don't know the plight. You don't know the plight of being forced to wait in the tent for 3 minutes. Well, you may know the plight if you've played Onward before, but you don't know the plight of casting.
Fellow caster has finally readied up. We should be delivering you this bizarre series shortly.
He's not quite sure if he wants to ready up just yet. He's trying. There we go.
We'll give him a thorough scolding post of the series, everybody. Don't worry. But that little tone is the start of our second map. We got a fast spawn for Danglers too. We'll see how they utilize it, if they're going to be charging towards objective and trying to get on it early or rotating around the long one.
Judging from this initial rollout, this is definitely going to be a very, very quick one. Looks like they might be going for a northern stacked offense.
Yeah, they gave away their early spawn. Sickness has pushed up pretty aggressively. He may get lucky and find some early rotators. Stumpy also getting up very fast. Gonna might run into land and finds the pick inside objective. Finds another. Stumpy is a devastating force here. Soda finally picking him off. Rybo might have to deal with Sickness. No, he doesn't. Sickness is not paying attention to these guys that are pushing right in under his nose. He goes down after getting a frag. The refrag there from Sleepy. Rybo man might find Soda. He does, and now it's a 2v2. 5-17.
SMC on the south. Yeah, this is absurd. We're not even a minute in yet, and there's already 6-7 people dead.
Both SMC Tactical members have eyes on objective. Pwnecake getting allowed here. Should be info for Rybo Man.
I think Ryberman may be waiting for his teammate to push up Sleepy on the northern side and come through the tunnel. So I think he's going to hold put until he actually gets those plays. But that looks like maybe going for a move now, maybe soon.
He has to be careful about making noise here. Pwnecake tosses the smoke. Is going to cause Rybo to make some movements with footsteps. Should give Pwnecake information. I thought that was going to be a frag there for a second.
I thought so as well. My heart dropped yet again, like during that nade on Cargo. It looks like they're ready for the push in from north as well now.
Yeah, they have both their angles covered. Rybo has managed to get to the window, and he does get that pick off. Beefy can't quite spot him. Actually, I'm not sure why Beefy didn't take those shots. He should have been able to see Rybo.
Maybe his gun got like jammed or something. Maybe he was out of ammo. I'm not entirely sure, but he definitely should have been able to take that. But they are, looks like, maybe going for a cap now.
Oh, a good flash on the Sleepy. A frag follow-up should catch him. It does! Very well done from Beefy. Comes up onto Rybo Man, and Rybo catches him on the cross. Danglers taking a Marsoc point, 1-0.
A very nice and smooth offense from Danglers, though. Maybe it could have been a little bit better if they had dealt with Sickness and stopped him from taking down, I believe it was Executioner on the north, but overall, that was a perfect use of the quick spawn, I'd say. especially with Stumpy rushing in like that and taking down a member of Danglers, a member of SMC Tactical immediately.
Yeah, I don't think Landon was ready for that at all, and he got completely rounded on. Really good push from Stumpy to get them that point, and I mean, I think that was a clutch move there because the call out came then that they were on objective, so people had to start rotating. Sickness getting picked on the north was really important for that push as well. Just a couple of key picks from Danglers on their push there, and I mean, they're off to a good start on their map pick, you know. That's about as good as you could hope it to be.
Yeah, this time at least they're not spending too much time on the deliberation side of things, and unfortunately, SMC's not getting blessed with the perfect spawn here.
Yeah, they are going to get that slower spawn. They're going to probably opt to send one or two around to that east push and cross this street and slowly make their way towards objective through Bazaar. That's my theory, although they are sending 4 and they may be going fast. Captain
It
Soda.
may be the case, it can work out.
Yeah, these two are going right up. I mean, Sickness might have spotted that Stumpy rotation. They almost got there about as quick as you could with that fast spawn.
Maybe not to the north two-story, but they definitely got there kind of laterally along the
Right.
center of the street over towards the south of Bazaar. That's an interesting little timing tip for the rollout at the southwest spawn.
Yes, it is. They could have been spotted by Stumpy if he had been looking from that two-story over into the street, but he wasn't. He was just trying to get into position where he could find Landon on the north.
That's a very interesting piece of cover I've never seen before behind the cardboard box there. Not entirely sure if that's very good cover, but it's certainly very unexpected and decent concealment.
Oh, I mean, yeah, if you get low enough, you're completely covered. Sickness! Team killing Pwn Cake with no chance of a revive. That's not what you want to see.
Very unfortunate. Looked like he thought he was a Volk underneath the shadow of the scaffolding building there. That's very unfortunate, but that kind of stuff happens.
Soda not going to opt to cannibalize his fellow down teammate. Will push up, though, and cause a bit of a distraction.
Just keep your rifle up over there in case they try to charge the corner on you, dude.
Here's Sickness giving out commands to Soda there. The Danglers defense looking strong here as they have all 5 alive, 1 in Kayat, and the rest pretty much eyes on objective courtyard.
Yeah, they do have to be a little bit wary of the member of Danglers in that far north side, which Stumpy looks like it might be trying to do a little bit of a move out here. But so far, SMC, I think they can take this back.
Beefy's probably going to need to get this pick on Stumpy over here by Kayat if they don't want to have everything ruined by a possible flank. I don't think he's going to be expecting him here. Kind of pop in on Stumpy's perspective. He's not particularly looking at that 2-story either, so Beefy's options here are to go up that 2-story. Come down on Stumpy.
We saw Sota manage to take down Executioner on that eastern side. That's a very nice pick to get when you're trying to catch someone rotating towards the objective. It sets them up for a nice push onto the
Crossing in the blue
objective
room exit.
once they inevitably decide to do so.
Yeah, Sleepy is looking for him, just not quite in the right place. He thinks he may have gotten into blue room, and he doesn't really have a good eye on the blue room entrance. Pop back on board the Beefy Stumpy duo there. It's still right on top of each other. I think Stumpy maybe slowly trying to work his way to those stairs. Beefy's going to drop down. Charge towards Stumpy! Doesn't get the trade.
Sickness now. He's going along over towards Expedite now. They are literally meters apart. He's starting to go for this push in. I'm not sure if the rest of his team is ready. There's only 1 member left.
Yeah, I think he just has to do this. If he can sneak in, find Expediter, some good shots there. He's down 1-2. Now Rybo goes down. Stumpy has to rotate back towards objective.
Yeah, they are still 3 members of Danglers strong, though they are getting the rotation from Sleepy, it seems, on that eastern side. That's going to be a bit of an issue for Captain Sota.
Sleepy gets caught out by
Welcome down. He's
Soda.
at the
No
corner,
issue
near the
at
pallet
all.
by
We'll see
blue-
if Soda
blue hallway.
decides to confirm that. 'Cause if he doesn't, Sleepy's going to call out that entry into blue room.
I think the bigger issue than being called out in the entry into blue room is Stumpy approaching from where Sickness came from.
Ooh, yeah, Sickness. Unless Stumpy gets loud here, probably shouldn't be expecting this kind of rotation.
Oh, he's made some noise. He's going loud. Sickness will expect it.
He gets the kill, but another goes down across the other side. Now we're into a 1v1.
Feels like we're getting deja vu of the previous round now. Riberman does have the advantage with Sleepy calling out the info, though. The smoke might be blocking his view.
Rybo is looking for Sickness here. He's out by the objective, making sure no caps are coming in. He tucks himself back into that little corner spot, trying to peek the window. Sickness hears these footsteps, and he's looking.
Being very, very careful of each other right now. Sickness doesn't want to make any hasty moves, nor does Riberman. They just want to hold their angles and slowly clear paths.
Oh, Rybo getting nervous about a potential cap. Decides to peek out. Sickness with a Confucius quote there, patience is key, or whatever. I don't know. Someone famous said it.
I was just talking about the angle. My curse is back. I talked about him holding the angle and being patient. And what does he do? He peeks. I've cursed Riberman. It's not his fault.
Unbelievable. Gotta be careful with your words, Buxton. It's this power you have. With great power comes great responsibility.
It definitely does. That was Confucius and something as well, wasn't it?
I think that was Spider-Man, but Ben Parker, maybe. We're kind of back into the series, though. This is more of what I expected to see out of these guys. Not necessarily a 30-minute stomp on cargo, but more so these close 1v1s, tight trades. This is the sort of series I was anticipating.
Yeah, definitely. Though maybe I expected the rounds to be a little bit faster paced, though equally as close, because they've been so far kind of slow, normally going down to, what was it, 2 minutes we've seen so far? I expect it to maybe be done by about 3 minutes, maybe 4 minutes at a shove. So far, at least, it seems that both teams are in a good way, especially SMC Tactical. I did say how they're going to be coming out hot from the scrim with Globacam, and it seems I was correct. Saw that nice 4-1 on cargo.
Yeah. You didn't ruin that, at least.
Yeah, I didn't. I don't think I called. Yeah, I didn't call it a prediction explicitly, so it was safe.
Hopping into this one, an interesting spawn that should run them into some action pretty quickly the way they're moving. Sickness pushing up into mini courtyard, and Rivalman and Expedite are going to run into that shortly.
Yeah, this is so dangerous for Danglers pushing up the west side here. I expect them to get eviscerated on the northwest very soon.
Executioner moving pretty quick with Sleepy here. Might be able to catch out Ponecake by surprise if Pone's not ready. They spot him. Oh, he doesn't see him there at the windowsill. Ponecake catches Mex out. Just didn't quite have his eyesight drawn in on where it needed to be. We'll see if Sleepy can find the refrag on this side. Actually, Stumpy does. A nice shot through the window. Sorry, through that little crack there.
Yeah, that's a really nice tight angle. I'm surprised Stumpy actually realized that there was an angle there, because I sure as hell didn't.
Yeah, I didn't either, and that's a lot. That's kind of like about as long as you can get on this map. All of those shots, though, information for Sickness to work with. He's really tucked himself into that corner. Gonna be hard to shoot, and probably no one expecting him to be there.
Yeah, assuming he stays nice and silent, one wrong breath, and they're going to just pre-fire it, pre-nade it, everything. They'll throw everything they can at that spot, because Sickness is a pretty big linchpin of SMC Tactical.
Yeah, kind of interesting to see him in a more forward spot there. Be raiding him in comms. I wonder if he's going to find Rybo Man as he potentially pushes up.
Comes out into the open here, that's exactly what is going to happen, but it looks like Sickness is actually holding his very tight angle. Unless they push up right next to him, he's not going to see anyone.
think a nade come out there from Beefy, caught one. Rybo almost picks up sickness. Stumpy hears those shots and he knew right where they came from, so he's eyes on. We'll see if a nade comes out from him. The frag just a little too far, the rotation a little too late. Stumpy catches him out.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, Nate. If he just realised that I'd gone past him, he could have stayed there and it would have been a nice and safe spot. And he could have waited for the smoke to full out a little bit more before he finally got his rotation out of there.
I don't even think his smoke would have done much, though. Looking at it now, it doesn't look like it was in an optimal position.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Either way, Sleepy, about to say they're all nicely spread out. He's got that north under control, but Landon denies that entry point, taking it into a 3-2. Stumpy at risk of getting caught out by Beefy here as he pushes.
Yeah, what surprises me from Danglers is that they had nobody push up east here. There goes Stumpy up, taken by Landon on that first floor of the what you call kayak.
Yeah, Landon rotating around nicely. Expediter should be looking. The callouts coming out from Landon spot on. Soda and Beefy should have eyes trained here. Soda does, and it cost him his life. Expediter finds the pick. If Beefy rotates, it could be bad news for him, but he's staying rock solid in his corner.
Yeah, and Expediter has made the rather smart decision of getting out of there and attacking from a different angle. At this point, I think it'd be best to just go way around the south and come in from the east instead, because you have the less enemies on that side. If he came around the north as well, maybe he'd be able to sneak in behind and go for the cap, though he has 2 minutes 15. It would be cutting it a little bit close doing that.
I think Beefy heard Expediter's footsteps because he has his eyes trained in over here. Expediter spots Landon, 2-story, rotates back around. Beefy doesn't get any shots there. 2 minutes left. Expediter has time to sort of fool around with, like you were saying. What he does. He's just going to kind of stick to this side of the map.
Thinking about it, if he went North Road now, he'd be able to get behind them, but he has no way of knowing that there's not someone watching the North Road currently.
Gonna do just that.
He's reading my mind, NightFiree.
He is indeed. It's the right move here, but Beefy may be anticipating that as well. He may also be reading minds, and if he's watching this angle, will catch Expediter out. No, I think Beefy tucked himself too deep. In the way.
Yeah, and all of those pillars lined up next to each other makes it so difficult.
They don't
maybe he'd see a few pixels.
Particularly have the best objective coverage here. Expediter opting in for the wrong entry point, I think. Although he should hear Landon. Landon hears him too. Really good ears from Landon to immediately call that out. Beefy not acting or rotating on that information though.
Yeah, I don't believe Landon has actually called it out yet, but he's definitely heard Expediter. And down he goes. Landon Jordan does make the good decision of very quickly dropping down. Expediter maybe should have been a little bit more quiet.
Yeah, kind of an interesting stand up and sprint move there to get into that corner. I'm not sure Landon really had any idea 100% that he was there. A really nice pop off that ledge though does get him that pick, and he's doing well for his team right now. 3-2. Sickness 5-2. SMC Tactical back in the lead 2-1. We'll see if Danglers can respond. Keep things tied.
If there's anything I expect out of Danglers this match, is that I will expect them to respond to the tactics and kind of movement of SMC Tactical, though it may take some time. I think they will eventually kind of get the memo and start to adjust their gameplay, because so far it seems that they're just running into the walls of SMC Tactical, because SMC Tactical, I feel, has learned Danglers' positions and are just playing off that now.
Like we said with momentum, SMC Tactical really riding a lot of it off of that first map. Danglers need to take this map, obviously, to stay in the series, but this point here is probably pretty important, too. I mean, it is important. If SMC Tactical can grab this Marsoc round, it's going to be bad news for Danglers.
Yeah, the 3-1 is never something you want to see in a league match, especially one this close. But look at that early pick on the Sota.
Executioner also trying to almost grab one on this east side, but Soda going down quick. The smoke there from Sickness trying to come out next, getting caught out by Beefy.
Very nice shot through the gap in the wall by the scaffolding there. That is the
Oh my
perfect use of
gosh.
that spot.
Yeah, that's a really good actually way to peek that gap, is to be on that 2-story, because that is that's such a hard angle to even check now. You should never be checking that.
That's so sad though. I just watched the Rival Man duck back and check his tablet the very second Sickness went in for the revive onto Sota.
He goes back to look where he thought he had it down, man. All of a sudden the body's gone. You gotta be wondering what the heck's going on there.
Voodoo magic.
Yeah.
That's how I get my my curses.
Yeah, you would know.
I steal the bodies.
Danglers not in exactly a favorable spot as SMC converge on objective. They have East pretty much under control with 3 there. I think they may be considering a push on objective soon.
Yeah, judging by this kind of setup on the east and how they have not SMC, but how they have Sota and the Sickness starting to overwatch from the 2-story and maybe push up the west, it's definitely looking like they're ready and set up here.
Ooh, Rival Man does find Beefy on the back end. We'll see if Landon can find the refrag on that 2-story, or if one of their Overwatch members can find it. Probably Sickness doesn't land any shots there. I guess the angle is just not quite enough for him to find Ribo.
Danglers does have a really nice kind of offensive spread here, especially with Stumpy holding up the west. Might see the confrontation between Sickness and Stumpy on the west very shortly as they're about to round the same corner.
Ooh, Stumpy with some good shots there. That's a huge pick for him. Soda gonna go for that long rotation. Real long rotation. He may be able to get around north or behind Stumpy.
Yeah, he doesn't want any part of dealing with Stumpy in his west courtyard. He's straight around it like the Maginot Line.
Landon pushing up hard and heavy. Expediter tucked into a corner does pick him off. See if Pwnecake can use that information to get a pick or not. They do have this rogue element, Soda, though, who's managed to sneak his way around the entire Danglers defense.
Yeah, this could be a thorn in their side, especially if they don't keep an eye on the northern street, as he could slip in, cause some chaos, while Pwnecake and Sickness just come in from the center.
Well,
Rather not Sickness, he's
yeah.
already dead.
Landon was the one that was over there, but he got pushed. He pushed up and got picked by Expediter. Pwnecake now could be that distraction you're talking about. If he can get Expediter, I think Expediter has to go down here. Really open up the entries for Soda.
Yeah, for sure. But Stumpy's the real wild card for Danglers' defense there. He could either be a massive boon for them coming in from an angle that SMC Tactical's offense won't expect, or he could be the major downside for them, as they won't be able to rotate towards the objective in time. Exploiter, his foot is actually stuck in through the wall there. That's scary.
Oh, he does.
Luckily, Pwnecake didn't notice.
Wow, Pwnecake didn't hear that rotation either.
Maybe the sound of the falling equipment is distracting him.
Oh, he tries to come around, and Expediter dumps some rounds into the face. A team kill went down by Ribo. Soda has got himself into a little spot here. Needs to get his pad out now, or else it'll be heard.
Yeah, there's no way I think he'll be able to go for a objective at this point. He's way too deep in enemy territory. Maybe, just maybe, if he lines up with a beep of the radio, would he have a chance of getting it out now, but I don't think so.
Picked off Sleepy. Tries to get Ribo, but Ribo with the trade gets Danglers there around. Very clutch. Keeps it tied 2-2. Exactly what Danglers needed, and they did it pretty handily. They didn't. That wasn't the close 1v1 nail biter.
Yeah, that's kind of the expected outcome. You could see it from the initial kind of picks they got at the start of the match, the Danglers had a very good chance of taking it after they had taken down. Who was it that got picked?
I think it was Sickness.
Yeah, I guess Sickness was the initial turning point for it. Sickness and also Mr. Beefy.
Right.
Maybe not so early in the match. That was kind of like mid-game once they'd already half done their push.
Take kind of a quick look at the KDs. Stumpy and Rybo pulling Danglers along. Our fellow caster Sleepy, he's on the board there. Revive as well.
Maybe not so grammarlessly.
He's on the board, you know?
He's on it, and that's all that matters. Deep down, we know. If you're on the board, you're in a good way regardless.
Yep.
Mithy, you'll get a cap when the teams decide you get a cap. These teams don't listen to demands. They're the ones that do the demanding.
Both squads readied up as we hop into the 5th round of our second map. First map Cargo going to SMC Tactical 4-1. 30-minute round, 30-minute series rather, very quick. Now we're into this one. It is 2-2 right now. See what happens.
We just saw somebody. Oh, wait, no, there he is.
Danglers got really scared by that there. Executioner dropped his tablet on accident, and they all just flicked back thinking that someone had dropped.
Might throw a little wrench in their movements. Sickness does get the chance to move in and cross into a very interesting spot where he'll likely catch 1 or 2 out.
Yeah, they were not expecting to be this far up, and there goes Sota taking down the objective. That's a very nice pick for them to get, but Sickness, he's going to do so much damage.
Unless he gets caught out by Mex, he has his eyes not drawn here. 1 goes down. He was very surprised by that. Great smokes, though. Take a look at these. They completely denied vision for that cross. They are going to get 1 across. Mex does get revived, so Sickness's push has no consequence. Sleepy's
Sota
pick.
was also revived.
Yeah. He'll be duking it out.
What
with,
is this?
I don't know. I'm watching Landon trying to deal with this side. Beefy looking out. Rybo's kind of gotten himself into that objective side. The suppressive fire from Sleepy. Rybo coming out, trying to get 1. He does find Beefy Pwnecake with the refrag. Landon goes down over there. Sleepy gets picked up. There's plenty of reses available and only 1 Dangler alive.
Yeah, poor Executioner way up in the northwest after he got downed. He's going to have to contend with every single member of SMC Tactical. Especially Sickness is going to be the major thorn in his plans. He just needs to watch over that center street, and Danglers, I expect this to go to a 2-3, maybe a 3-3.
Say again.
Exploiter is coordinating with Executioner as he lies on the floor there. He's calling out whether he needs to go for a revive, something like that.
I think Sickness may be able to catch Mex here. I'm not sure. He's looking at this cross. Does peek it. Spots him, but doesn't take any shots. He's now going to rush to that flank. Wow, look at the callouts, too. The rest of the team rotating around towards this lane. They've got their eyes drawn towards it.
Oh, and that confirming nay, that's going to be absolutely perfect.
Sickness is going to come in from behind and pick off Mex, and SMC Tactical taking down Danglers systematically, 5-0.
That is a prime example at the end there of team coordination. That is top of the barrel stuff.
Yeah, that was really interesting to see. The entire team rotating and acting off of those calls. They knew that that was the last member alive, too. A great frag to confirm that kill there in the alleyway, and just some good moves out of them. SMC now coming into series point. If they can grab this Marsoc round, they'll take the series. Definitely not what Danglers want, you know. They at least want to take this 3-3. If they lose 4-3, not as bad. If they lose 4-2 here, it's just going to be tough for them on that next map to lighten that MMR blow.
Yeah, assuming it's not a northwest spawn here for SMC Tactical, I think Danglers does have a good chance of being able to take it to a 3-3, because I've seen SMC Tactical do their work on the northwest with their smoke rush, and it's not pretty for the defending team.
You have to be ready for it. That's for sure. If you're not ready for a push like that out of SMC, then you're going to be in trouble. If you spread out too thin, you can get caught with your pants down. So see what they do. They've had some very good Marsoc rounds, very strong pushes, but I feel like Danglers on Bazaar have put up much better Volk defenses than they did on Cargo.
Absolutely, for certain. I feel like SMG Tactical almost bullied Danglers on Cargo to force them into bad defensive positions, especially on that round where they just locked down the death lane, sprayed down it, and stopped them from moving over to the east where the objective was. That was especially nice to see, and I think in some way or another they did that for the entire match in just ways that only the players would actually be able to know.
There you
No, I
go.
took your frag.
SMC swapping nades, loading up the smokes. They're definitely going to be trying to cross that street.
Cut through right there and just go. Actually, yeah.
And we have a standard defensive rollout from Danglers there.
Really free fire coming out, a short nade from Sickness. He's going to readjust that.
Those smokes are looking a little bit bare, but it looks like Landon's in there for the support this time. Still a little bit bare in the middle there. That could be dangerous for them.
Yeah, they need that smoke to come up. They've actually moved with that one dud of a smoke almost, it looks like, providing hardly any cover. They managed to get across. I think Landon took some shots, but he's there. One goes down in the middle from SMC, right?
X is actually in a really good position at the Eastern Bloom here, tying with the Pone Cake. This is a bad situation for him to be in right now.
Oh yeah, he's getting suppressed into this corner here. Beefy also has his eyes drawn on this spot. Goes for the heal, and right when he does, Pone Cake comes out and gets the kill. Really well-timed peek from him.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. He dropped the syringe on the floor and had trouble grabbing it off the floor, and there goes Stumpy. A really nice pick on the objective from Pone Cake there. That's exactly what they need.
Another going down Mex picked up, and SMC Tactical, they're going to kind of take this series here with this round. Ribo Man getting picked off, and SMC go up 4-2. That was a dominating performance there.
Yeah, that absolutely was, especially that final push. You saw them just take down one, then the other, then the other, then the other, and it was just so clean despite the kind of slightly rough start with the failed smokes on the West Street. It seems to not have any impact at all, considering there was no one really watching the Western Street except for Exploiter, which was getting pressured by Pone Cake.
SMC really proving to be the stronger team here. They've definitely shown some very skilled plays, some new unique spots on maps that I'm not used to. Sickness going into some interesting positions. And it's interesting to see, considering this team has so much coverage, that they still come out with new spots.
Yeah, there's got to be like some kind of talent for them, something that brought them this far, because I don't understand how they find all of these kind of positions, considering they've been casted for almost every match for 2-3 seasons straight. They've got to have several sessions where they just look through maps and just look for any kind of position that could be useful for them. It's unreal. It's unreal, man.
Yeah, definitely dedication to the cause. Especially since, you know, these spots get picked up by other players, they get utilized, it sort of adds, it changes the whole, it has the potential to change meta of maps and how people play them, and it's always fun to see, so I'm glad it does happen. And I feel like sometimes some teams get caught up in their usual positions, kind of be the downfall of them.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the main things that you can see with teams like Globican, where they can just adapt perfectly to the enemy team and just screw them over, despite how bad like the first maybe 2 rounds went. They can always adapt and just turn it around totally. That's one of the most important things for a kind of super high level, top of the tier Onward match, is you need the adaptability, but you can't also compromise the thought out positions, stuff like that.
I think I'd also like to point out that SMC Tactical picking into Quarantine, this is not their stronger map, so maybe after that series win, they're going to try and get some work in on a map that they can use to practice.
Would make sense. SMC Tactical does not particularly need a lot of MMR, so they can afford to lose this map without too much issue.
Little huddle there from SMC. Making their push, and meanwhile Danglers are going to really prioritize that north defense. Send a couple guys up to get that north roof.
Interestingly, Sleepy is bringing night vision here, and they do realize what the spawn is now on Dangler's side.
Wow, Stumpy pushing up really aggressively. Soda didn't load his gun. Went to go shoot, didn't get any rounds off. Stumpy now's up to cockpit. I don't know if Soda's ready for that. Stumpy tries to get the flank off. Really lucky that Soda denied that. Stumpy getting really aggressive there.
Yeah, if Stumpy had moved a little bit quicker and gone like over the tip of the plane wing, tip of the cockpit nose, that could have been a much bigger issue for SMC Tactical, because there's no way Captain Soda would have had any time to load his gun.
Ooh, Soda finds 2 so far in the round as he takes off that north roof as well. Some sniper rounds coming off, I think, from the roof from that plane wing as well, from Sickness. Yeah, he's got his bolt action
Negative.
there.
Turbine just fell out of it. He's still there behind it.
Does Sickness normally use a 12 times with a bolt action, especially with a drone? I don't think I've ever seen that.
I don't think I have either, but it does seem to be giving them the information they need. An airburst flash comes out towards Sleepy. Doesn't land on him. He's dumping rounds towards Pokecake. Shots are raining out left and right. Sleepy finds 2. No, he just finds 1. Landon's still alive.
I believe that flash
Pokecake's
did get
still
both actually on the objective.
Really?
Yeah, they both started wildly spraying over everywhere.
Ooh, a team kill coming out from Landon. Sleepy's pushed up right on top of Landon. He goes down as he checks his pad.
This is a huge turn of events from what was like a 1v4 to a 1v2.
Had a little assistance from the enemy team there. Now Sleepy finds Soda. Holy cow, he's holding off the entire squad.
That was a move, bro. That was a crazy move.
Sleepy, he's absolutely not to be messed with right now. He's going 4-0. He's in the zone. He's got every kill for his team.
Let's see if he can find Sickness here, who's pushed up to that L.
Sickness is just on his belly.
Oh, gets caught out under the corner of the tank. A real tight angle from Sickness. Grabs SMC the first round on Quarantine.
That's very unfortunate. Getting that 5k denied by Sickness because of the nice angle under the tank. I'd be very sad about that.
Well, I guess Sleepy finally turns it on just a little too late.
Yeah, and he set his clock, his auto turn on for the skills like half an hour earlier.
Mm-hmm. I think that Bazaar map was also pretty fast too, like clocking in around like 35 minutes, considering how many rounds we played. I mean, this has just been the par for the course. SMC Tactical not waiting at all. I guess Danglers also subject to playing fast. You just had quick rounds back and forth no matter what.
Yeah, it's a nice thing to see, especially during high matches like this, which if you're going like boss fight versus beginner, it can take 2.5 hours, and when there wasn't the 2-minute rule, it could take 3 hours, 3.5 hours. It was an interesting time.
Definitely interesting to see the rate of play come out from these guys. It's fun to see the fast-paced action, lots of trades kind of going flying around when the action fires up, and hop into our second round on this third map.
So far, it seems like SMC Tactical is trying to get some guys across south, but they've totally destroyed their smokes.
Amazing.
All
Watch
three
this.
landing
Who's
right
gonna
on top
make
of
it?
each other.
Yeah, they recognize that. I don't think Beefy's too pleased since he's the one that has to cross, and he's just going to roll the dice. Should be fortunate enough since the spawn not really vulnerable. Actually, Bonecake getting picked off quick by Stumpy here. Soda does take command of the roof, but at what cost as he goes down from Ribo?
A very strong start for for Danglers rather starting off with. And Sickness might go down. He trades with Stumpy. Unfortunately, that is an advantage for SMC Tactical.
Danglers now 4-2. Beefy has crossed the street. Landon maybe going to consider looking out for that res on the Sickness.
That is an incredibly risky move from Landon right now. He's moving out from the objective. Looks like he might be trying to go for the res on Sickness. That is incredibly risky.
Ooh, yeah, it is. Trades with Mex on the roof. Mex will be easily res. It'll turn this into a 4v1. The last member trying to even find him. Where is Beefy?
He's coming up on the objective now from the eastern side.
Pulled out of that position he was in. Maybe he'll go for the Sickness res. Now he tries to relocate, but Rybo finds the shots on the roof. Danglers tie it up 1-1.
A very strong start to start off with, especially with Stumpy getting that kill onto, I believe it was Landing Jordan. No, it was Pwnecake, I think. That got paid off right at the start by Stumpy.
Right.
That was exactly what you needed. Just the kind of what could be your comeback map, though it won't win you. It'll certainly lessen the MMR blow.
Do not want to roll over and lose this 4-1 or 4-2 like you have the last two maps, that's for sure. It is how they've sort of lightened that loss on the series against Globochem as well. But I feel like SMC are definitely not taking this final match too seriously.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh god, I see Arsenic in chat saying overlay no. Did you?
I mean, why do you have to say that to me?
I've got to say, I got to make sure.
I don't give a shit what people say in chat, dude. You can't. I think I actually am considering making it a rule for casters that you should not read chat, because I think it detracts. Yeah, it definitely does. Because like when I'm casting with Sleepy, he'll often La La Land reading what people have to say about chat, and then come back.
Well, I got to do it in the tent while you're waiting for Sickness himself to ready up.
Yeah. No, I don't need that, Bucks. I got it, bud. Everything's fine. Chat always thinks that they know best.
Oh yeah, you got it. You didn't leave it up. Very good.
Are you listening to me? Stop reading chat. Listen to my words.
I'm not reading chat. Don't worry.
Literally just said that to you.
I know. I listened.
Okay. Jeez.
Judging by this rollout, looks like Danglers is trying to take control of that northern area on the roof, which for this objective, it's a necessity. You can't do anything else.
Nice little pickup there for Sleepy. And Danglers the advantage. They do take that north control. Sleepy doing some work there in the center. Does get fragged by Beefy ultimately. His shots do cost him his life. Rival will pick him up nicely, though. I don't think Beefy spotted that either. Man, Sleepy is really feeling quarantine, huh? He's picked up another kill. Ribo's tagged one. SMC Tactical picking into their bad map, and it's not quite working out for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like Danglers might be also getting a res onto Mexecutioner and bringing it back up to a 5v2. That's exactly what they want. They are looking very strong now. They've got their kind of pace back, and they're trying to control the rest of this map.
Pwnecake did find one on the rooftop, but that res coming out. See if he tries to look over there and catch another. Shots are coming out. He does get Stumpy. I mean, he's really dialed in there. That's some long-range shots onto that hill. That's going to be a tough res for them as well, as Pwnecake confirms the kill. Finally, they had D him on plane wing.
I believe that was just a down onto Cygnus. Was he revived at the ambulance? No, it was Beefy on the ambulance, actually someone in the northeast. And there goes Sleepy, taken down by Pwnecake. That's a good pick, because he got a bit too aggressive on that southern side.
Yeah, he went to... The call-out on plane wing was out there, and Sleepy tried to push up and catch Pwnecake. unexpected, but Pancake was really dialed in on that corner. I'm surprised that he was expecting Sleepy there.
Yeah, I guess he must have kind of twigged that they would be eventually pushing him, because being on the wing, it can be sometimes pretty easy to take whoever's on that wing sitting there down if you're coming in from below, because it's quite hard to hit someone that's below you with the hitboxes of the wing and the kind of slope and the darkness and the silhouetting against the beige floor.
3 minutes 40 left. We're going to see a rotation here. They're going to come around and try and get the res on a Sickness.
Interesting that he didn't go for Beefy.
Yeah, I think Sickness's voice probably drowning out Beefy's over the comms.
Copy, copy.
He's taking the real long way round here. I'm not sure if he will have time to do this and continue with a push on towards the objective. That is an incredibly long rotation, though. Probably warranted considering there may still be people on the roof.
Ooh, Riboman really trained in there. Catches that rotation out. A real long shot from that center burning building. Danglers go up 2-1.
Yeah, that's no joke from the burning building all the way to the northeast. I've only made that shot like once in my entire lifetime. It's certainly not easy, especially with the bullet leading. The fact that they've just barely silhouetted a few pixels on the far hillside. It's a rough time, but Sleepy at least, he's leading here.
He is definitely leading. He's been getting quite a few picks on Quarantine. He's feeling this map quite a lot. A key element to his team. I think he's been using that LMG too.
Yeah, I saw him using the G3 Auto on Volt's side, especially when he was defending the tank during his 4K. I guess maybe either he likes or it's working out for him, because now he has the LA80 on Marsok's side.
Everybody,
He is their LMGer, so to speak.
women, children.
He's the Smiles of Danglers, you could say.
We with this cross?
Except everything that makes Smalls is not there.
Plenty of smokes prepped for Danglers as well. They're dumping him here. Sleepy having some issues there. It looks like he's finally coming up. 4, 5 smokes coming out. Rooftop pressure coming down on them. They have to move with these smokes now or they're going to be in trouble from the roof. A good frag. No, sorry, a smoke. Oh, he grabbed the enemy smoke and threw it back. Soda picking up Stumpy, who tried to pick that up. I mean, there are trades going off left and right. Mex catching one around on that rotation at Burning.
And Sickness is trying for a flank here. He's going around far east. It's going to be devastating for Danglers once he does get in position. There goes Exploit and Mex Tutor, both taken down on the southwest side.
Nice shots from Landon denying that sort of approach. Riboman does pick up Soda in that 2-story Burning. Pancake the last one there. And there's that flank from Sickness. It catches one out. Will it get Sleepy on the res? He almost gets picked up on his backside, and he's getting sandwiched here.
Having a little trouble sorting through the remains of his friend. He does get the revive eventually, though, but Sickness, if he has a nade, he should use it.
Here he has when he's rotating around, trying to get an eye on. Riboman not getting distracted, does get the shot off on his Sickness. Sleepy will get that confirm frag. Now he has to deal with Pancake at Burning, who's getting real aggressive on the corner, almost gets caught out.
He's quite scared being the last one remaining, but he's going to have an uphill battle.
Really nice move there to move off of those shots here as Landon's trying to come around towards Ambulance. Maybe able to catch Landon out on the rotation or Pancake here. Neither one of them expecting him to be here.
Will Pancake hear him? That's the big question. It does look like that Pancake is rotating over trying to flank him here, and he does get the rotate on him and takes him down, evening up to that 2-2.
If Landon hadn't denied entry on that flank from the south, I think it would have been a very different story.
Yeah, having Sickness do that ambulance east front was so devastating. You could see it coming from a mile away with this bird's eye view we've got. It was such a perfect distraction for them, and especially with Mex and Exploiter going down in the southwest area coming from wing. If those two things hadn't happened, this would be going to a 3-1, and it'd be massively changing the tides of the entire match. What do you say about reading chat, NightFiree?
I know. Really don't like it, so I'm gonna bring that up in Discord. Talk about things. Eight and 3, tagging on another kill there and a revive. The casting MVP on quarantine for Danglers.
He's doing incredibly well so far. The LMG, I think, he's like linked with it psychically. It's just working for him. I don't think Sleepy uses a SMC, LMG normally. I don't believe he does, though I don't see him playing too much in matches I've cast.
Watch out for that fuselage.
Smoke if you're gonna cross, otherwise it can't happen.
Owlers, we have a slightly different spawn, slightly worse spawn, honestly, but same objective. So I expect to see SMC Tactical playing just as aggressively as Danglers did initially.
Ooh, none of those shots landing as Landon and Pancake do get across.
We both made it south.
Their smoke's not quite far enough. Meanwhile, North getting taken over by Danglers, Stumpy getting aggressive again. Wonder if he'll catch that Beefy rotation out on the wall there. Expediter does get Soda. Beefy going down from Stumpy.
Expediter did miss Sickness crossover towards the north, though there. That's definitely not what you want. He's going to be behind Expediter now.
See if he tunes in and is game savvy. He's not, but he does get picked up by Mex, who was watching it. Real fortunate for Expediter there, as Sickness missed those shots. Danglers go up 5-2.
Not to curse them, but I think they will take this. As I say that, there goes Stumpy taken down by Pancake on that farther north side.
Pancake. Some good shots there. Stumpy pretty exposed on that hill. Come the smokes towards burning, but Sleepy may be able to grab a couple if they decide to rotate. Landon going down immediately. Pancake doesn't find the refrag.
It's actually a really interesting position from Sleepy there, just underneath the fuel trucks by the half fuselage on the southwest. I've never seen someone take that before, but it seems to be quite effective, especially if you maybe got a little bit lower, gone almost Vegas style underneath.
Pancake almost catches a rotator out there. The frag coming around on the rock doesn't quite get him. The flank from Sleepy should end Pancake's life here, and Danglers go up 3-2.
Can't get over how quick these quarantine rounds are. Only 2 minutes, that one.
Neither one of these squads have been taken. I mean, I think we only have had one round on quarantine so far. We got down to like 1 minute left. Everything else has been pretty fast-paced. I mean, series going down in some record time.
Like, record time on the inter-round as well. They're starting straight off. They've not even given us a chance to breathe.
Well, we can't complain about that, Bucks. Okay, we either have too much time or too little time. It can't be. There's gotta be some middle ground.
Yeah, there's a middle ground, but maybe they found it.
We'll see if they're going to be ready for this fast spawn from Danglers on the north. That is the spawn they're really going to want for this objective.
Watch for the crosses across the
They can grab this map 4-2, really lighten that MMR blow. Soda here is going to be the one that's going to run into this entire team. Yeah, he's backed off.
Yeah, he's in for a bad way.
I mean, he could flank this entire squad right now.
We maybe see the beginning of a new Hall of Fame entry right here.
No, Max heard footsteps. Pulls his pad out, he goes down. They do not have control of roof. This is not good for this push. Soda comes up and over, finds one, finds two. Sleepy goes down on the cross. Danglers getting shut down. Only
That is going to be crushing for them there.
only Expediter left.
-2.
I think Expediter just realized he's the only one left after raiding into his squad kill counts. Not gonna do him much good. He's gonna back up really just in time. The frag coming out, and look at this, the SMC tactical team. They want blood. They know they have forward down. The res on Beefy there. Sickness eyes on him. The shots are out from the hillside. They don't quite land.
5 still 8.
And do however get the information that's going to mean Captain Sota and Beefy and also Punkek are all going to be looking at northwest. There is no way out now for the Expediter.
Would really require some exceptional plays. Soda back on the plane wing with the res, finding Expediter, ties it up 3-3. SMC Tactical are not rolling over.
Absolutely not. Now, this will be the test of skill. Can they win this Marstock round on the Western Courtyard objective and actually manage to take back this map? Or is it going to be a very uphill struggle for them, resulting in a futile loss?
No predictions, please, Buxton. We don't need the.
Yeah, explicitly, that's not a prediction. That is feelings, as I said on Bazaar. Now they're not wasting time yet again. We got to thank Sickness now because he's the host.
Really ushering this lobby along. We are into our final round of the third map of this series. SMC Tactical already winning the first two 4-1 and 4-2. They're now competing to grab this final map as we're tied 3-3. Smokes coming out from SMC to get them across. Not sure if they were required or necessary.
Looks like Executioner was looking for someone on that south cross, so it may have caused them issues if there was none.
SMC is.
At least now it looks like this is.
Oh, go ahead.
It's definitely seeing this sudden stacked offense here. This may be a little bit of an issue for Danglers, but they do have the good cover on the center and the objective at least.
Your big ass target up there. I know. Like growing like it's 1960.
Sleepy's position again. This is not something you see often. Inside the kind of half pipe of the fuselage here. It's actually a pretty decent position to think about it.
Yeah, he's got some good coverage on his left and right if he gets low enough. He is getting a little over-eager and peeking this corner, getting super exposed to that plane wing shot. Does actually catch Landon, though. Some good shots off that corner, instantly refragged from Beefy.
It's quite a useful pick, but they have also lost one of their southern defenders, especially since that's where most of SMC Tactical is. That's not really what they want, but considering the advantage in cover they have, I think it will be okay regardless.
Oh, Pwnkick trying to shoot through the window there.
Sorry, middle. Yeah, I figured.
Can't shoot through it, though. Those windows impenetrable.
Unfortunately.
Loading building, 2-story.
Does give him the information, though, so
sorry, I'm sorry.
Pwnkick
Oh, white bar.
could potentially peek a little further and look for those shots.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you.
You should have shot him earlier.
I know.
I'm a better nade on middle.
So far, Captain Sota on the Overwatch. He's not actually seen much, and it's incredibly difficult to see like Executioner or Expediter moving about the Twin Towers in the far west. He's trying to catch someone moving there, but it's unlikely it'll work out, and it definitely doesn't, because he goes down from Mex.
Yeah, tucked into that little stairwell there. It's super hard to see the head. Pwnkick finally finding Rybo and burning building. Mr. Beefy trying to get Stumpy in this crater here. They've sort of opened up the south here. Pwnkick, if he can catch Stumpy, they can take command of this side.
Yeah, once Rybo had gone down, it was kind of a disaster. And that nade, that could have got Executioner on the objective, but it landed on the lip of one of the windowsills. That's very unfortunate.
Bone kick pushes up. Stumpy with the footsteps does get heard. He goes down, and we're into a 3v2 SMC Tactical with the advantage. An Executioner getting picked up on the backside. Expediter almost shot himself. Now super exposed here on that open side.
Had to heal as well, so he is one shot away from death here.
Sickness may have spotted him. He does. Expediter goes down. SMC do not give up a map. They take all 3. Really strong series there from them.
I think that scrim against Globo definitely did them good. It was right up until the start of the match. It must have been exhausting, but either way, it certainly didn't affect their performance at all. They had a little bit of trouble on this quarantine, but I think that was mostly due to Sleepy finally turning on the skills and just going off.
I mean, you kind of look at this. Maybe that's exactly the reasoning that we had the scores we did. Danglers getting warm as they progressed. Cargo 4-1, Bazaar 4-2, Quarantine 4-3. SMC Tactical had that Globochem warm-up. Danglers not necessarily coming in as hot. Eventually, though, as they started to get loose, we got a closer series, so something maybe they can work on in the future, getting a little bit looser and a little bit more ready for these games coming in.
Yeah, I think so.
Either way, we had a fantastic series. Good close fights, some good trades, great nades, lots of fun. Buxton, do you have anything to say?
I don't, but I think I'm going to repeat my usual spiel about vrmasterleague.com/Onward if you're a new player or you want to get involved in the league.
Yeah, absolutely. If you are new, check out our site, please. Head over there. It has all the information, links to Discord, to Twitter, to the Twitch sites, so you can always catch all of the Onward content that your heart desires. Additionally, I recommend joining that Discord if you want to become part of a reserves. You can play for teams if they need subs, so you don't have to be part of a team. You can just be out there and joining if squads need them. There's all sorts of opportunities to get into the competitive scene, so just dig a little bit and it's there. Actually, you don't have to dig at all. Most of the information's right there for you. It's pretty easy.
It's mostly at face value.
Yeah, it really is. But I think that will be it from us today at the Onward Master League. A good series, SMC Tactical defeating Danglers 12-6. My name is NightFiree with 2 E's. My co-caster Buxton. Thank you for joining us. We will see you next week.
Goodbye.
Tomorrow. I lied. We'll see you tomorrow. More Onward.